Okay, so let's dive in. Can a hobby, something you do just for fun, actually be a source of real, deep happiness?
It's a great question, isn't it? Not just fleeting fun, but something that properly contributes to your well-being.
Exactly. And today we're looking at this through a really interesting lens. Barbershop harmony.
Right. We've got this article from the Harmonizer, and it features Manoj Padki. He's been in the Barbershop Harmony Society, the BHS, for like 30 years.
And he's also a happiness coach. So he's got both feet in, the personal experience and the professional perspective.
Mm-hmm. So for you listening, maybe you're just curious, or maybe you want some solid takeaways about well-being.
Mhm.
Our aim here is to really boil down the key stuff from Manoj's experience and positive psychology.
Yeah, give you those useful insights without getting bogged down. We want those moments where it just clicks,
Right.
the aha moments.
So our mission for this deep dive, let's try and understand the science, or maybe the why, behind barbershop singing potentially boosting happiness. We'll lean on positive psychology principles and what barbershoppers themselves say.
Okay, let's start with Manoj's story. He talks about feeling totally wiped out before a chorus practice.
Uh-huh. That feeling we all know, right? Having to really drag yourself there.
Totally. But then, he says, something shifts. He gets there, sees his friends,
Maybe sings a quick tag, one of those short harmony bursts.
right? And suddenly, by the end of rehearsal, that tiredness is gone. He feels like genuinely happy, balanced.
And he makes the point, this isn't just him. It's a pretty common thing in the barbershop world.
So what's actually happening there?
Well, that's where positive psychology comes in handy. See, traditionally, psychology often focused on fixing problems, right?
Mhm.
Getting people from, say, a -6 state up to maybe 0.
From feeling bad to just feeling okay.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
But positive psychology flips that. It asks, how do we get people who are already, okay, maybe a +4, how do we help them really flourish? Get to like a +10.
Interesting shift.
And Dr. Martin Seligman, who's a big name in the field, he identified 5 key things that help people flourish.
Okay, let's break those down. First up is positive emotions.
Right. So feeling good, but it's deeper than just, a passing cheerful mood.
Sure.
We're talking about things like awe, gratitude, pride, joy. Experiencing these regularly really boosts your overall life satisfaction. And barbershop seems to tap right into this.
How so?
Well, Manoj mentions it's not just about hitting the right notes. There's the whole performance art side, too. And striving for excellence in both music and performance that really builds these deeper emotional connections.
He talks about that spine-tingling feeling, right, when a chord just locks in perfectly, or the joy of nailing a tough part.
Yeah, or pride in the group's performance, or even just gratitude for being part of it all. We've got Daniel Schwartz, another barbershopper, calling it a mood enhancer. He says he always feels pumped afterwards, even if you didn't feel like going.
And Elise Kappelman says something similar sometimes. She goes just out of duty, but always leaves feeling way better.
And, there's research behind this, too. Barbara Fredrickson found that these positive emotions aren't just a result of good things happening. They actually help us think better, make better decisions, build resilience. They're almost like a prerequisite.
Oh, okay, interesting. So, element number 2.
Engagement, or what's often called flow.
Ah, flow. Yeah, I think most people know that feeling, getting so lost in something that time just disappears.
Exactly. You're completely absorbed. Manoj calls it the Goldilocks zone. The challenge level is just right for your skills.
Yeah.
Not boring, not overwhelming.
Right.
John, another singer mentioned, talks about how the drive to quartet practice can feel long, but the singing itself feels like it's over in a flash, but he leaves energized.
Total immersion. And the idea is the more you find activities that get you into that state.
The more that zone kind of expands, potentially helping you focus better elsewhere too.
Makes sense. Okay, third element.
Relationships. This was huge. There was this massive decades-long Harvard study,
Oh, yeah, I think I've heard of that one.
and the big takeaway was pretty simple. Happiness equals relationships. The quality of our connections is fundamental.
And barbershop seems to have a built-in advantage here.
Definitely. Menage calls it a relationship advantage. Because everyone learns a shared repertoire, barbershoppers can basically sing with strangers, well, other barbershoppers, anywhere, instantly.
Spontaneous harmony.
Yeah. Plus, you have things like barber pole cat songs, harmony brigades, learning tags.
Tags, those little endings, right?
Short, often really cool harmonically,
Hmm.
and woodshedding, just figuring out harmonies together by ear. It all builds connection.
Elise mentioned learning tags was terrifying at first, coming from a classical background.
Right. But then she got into the music and the social side, that feeling of belonging. And Mark Schuldenfree even said he was drawn to the people first, before he even fully got the music.
You hear that phrase a lot, don't you? I came for the music, I stayed for the people.
Exactly. It really speaks volumes about the community aspect.
Okay, so positive emotions, engagement, relationships. What's number 4?
Meaning or purpose. Feeling like you're a part of something bigger than just yourself.
How does singing harmony fit there?
Well, Manoj suggests being in a chorus can provide that sense of mission. A bit like, a faith community or even raising a family sometimes. He calls barbershop a team sport where you're all building this living cathedral of sound together.
Wow, I like that description. Living cathedral of sound.
Yeah, and John talks about feeling important in his quartet, like his part really matters and the others are counting on him.
Accountability. Oh, Elise mentions that too. Being accountable to something beyond just yourself.
Right. And Daniel adds another layer, the meaning derived from singing for others, affecting an audience, maybe even moving them to tears. That feels deeply purposeful.
Contributing something, even through a hobby. Okay, and the last one, number 5.
Achievements. And this isn't just about winning contests, though that can be part of it for some groups.
Right, it's broader than that.
Exactly. It's the satisfaction from a really good performance, maybe a great rehearsal, getting positive feedback, just that feeling of progress and competence.
John actually emphasized the rehearsal process itself as being rewarding. Not just practice for the show, but valuable in itself.
Collaborating, working things out. And Mark echoes that, focusing on progress, doing your best rather than just the win.
That intrinsic satisfaction of striving and improving.
Yeah. Whether it's nailing a tricky passage in rehearsal or feeling great after a performance, there's that sense of accomplishment, of achieving something together.
So if you pull back and look at all 5 positive emotions, engagement, relationships, meaning, and achievement.
You can really see how they weave through the whole barbershop experience, can't you?
Yeah, it maps pretty clearly. And Manoj wraps it up with a quote from Jim Henry, another big name in barbershop,
Yeah.
saying that hobby just doesn't cut it. It's more like an obsession for many.
I can see that.
And Manoj says, looking back over his 30 years, he's experienced high levels of happiness across all 5 of Seligman's dimensions through barbershop.
So for him, it really has been, what does he call, a magical happiness machine.
A magical happiness machine. I love
Yeah.
that. So going back to our original question, can a hobby bring deep, lasting happiness?
Well, based on this deep dive, drawing from positive psychology and these experiences, the answer seems to be a definite yes. At least if your hobby happens to be something like barbershop harmony that hits all these notes, so to speak.
So a final thought for you listening. If barbershop can function as this happiness machine by tapping into these 5 core elements.
Positive emotions, engagement, relationships, meaning, achievement.
Yeah. Could consciously finding and engaging in activities in your own life that hit those same buttons be a deliberate way to boost your own well-being? Worth thinking about, maybe. What could your personal happiness machines be?